So I've been growing a plant for over a year and a half now. I've been in my plant journey for right around that time, and I bought a plant that was a summer plant in the winter season, but I did not know that it was a summer plant until I started researching about it. The plant appears as if it is dead. And so I could have gotten rid of that plant. So over a course of time, I still watered it, but if you looked at it, it still looked dead. But I did not give up on this plant. So recently, I took the plant from downstairs in our home and I moved it upstairs where the temperature is just slightly different until I could get the plant fully back into its season when it starts to warm up outside. Now, this is where it gets so good. Over the course of the weeks, the plant started to bud. If I had given up on that plant when that plant was out of season, I would have never seen it bud. This is a message for you today that's under the sound of my voice. Do not give up on yourself in the season that you do not have understanding. For the word teaches us to lean not on our own understanding. And this plant is a great example of why we do not lean on our own understanding and why we should not look to the season that may seem dry. Why we should not look to the season where we don't see anything budding. Why we should not look to the season when we cannot see the outcome, because that does not mean that you're not going to bud. That does not mean that you're not going to blossom. And sometimes we got to water something to see the fruit of it. We're like a canvas, and God has handpicked, designed, and orchestrated every detail of our lives. And so if we could see ourselves just like this plant that I have been nurturing, I could have given up on it. I could have said, oh, this plant is dead. I could have given up on this plant, but it wasn't time for that plant to bud. Oh, I could have gotten so discouraged based upon what that plant looked like, but there was still life in that plant. And because I was patient with that plant, when it was out of season, I began to see the outcome of that plant. So take this nugget with you today. Be patient in the seasons that you don't understand. Be patient even when you cannot see a way out. Always remember, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. If you are doing what you are supposed to do, you cannot fail. There's no such thing as failing, because if you fail, you can get back up and you can try again. If you feel like success is not in your path right now, that does not mean that it's not right around the corner. So we're going to do what God has called us to do in this hour, and we're not going to give up on ourselves. Just like I didn't give up on that plant. That plant had a purpose, glory to God. It needed time to do what it needed to do in its season. And it's the same thing with God. It is not our time, it's God's timing. So sometimes, I always say this, you're looking for God to do certain things in a certain season, and it may seem like God is not moving or God is not shifting things, but God is actually moving in the midst. Remember this, God plays chess, not checkers. And so therefore, he's playing a different game. So because he's, glory to God in here, Father, he's playing a different game. And because he's playing a different game, he moves differently. God is a strategic God. That it may be a season that you don't understand, but it does not mean that God is not moving. It does not mean that God is not going into your workplace or to your business or to wherever you may go every day, or whatever you are doing on social media, off social media, whatever it is that you work on in your private time. I don't know, but that does not mean that God is not working on it. You may have been praying and contending and yet have seen the fruit of your prayers yet, but that does not mean that it's not going to harvest. So will we be patient in this hour to allow God to do what it is that he said he was going to do.